This comic book features one of the most famous Spider-Man stories of all time and one of my all-time favorite covers. Let's take a look. Okay, what I have here is Web of Spider-Man number 32 from 1987. The artist was Mike Zeck and the writer was J.M. DeMatteis. So this is a key for a couple reasons. It's part 4 of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline, which is one of the most famous story arcs ever for Spider-Man. And it's, of course, an iconic cover by Mike Zeck. And that's, absolutely right. I even have a t-shirt of this, which I should have worn today, opportunity missed. But yeah, this is one of my favorite covers of all time. The detail. Also, it's like, what is going on here? Why is Spider-Man kind of climbing out of a grave? Well, let me get into that. So why is this story so famous? I would say that it's so famous, this Kraven's Hunt storyline, because of how it ends. But to give you a gist of it, basically what happens is Kraven is kind of depressed. He's getting older. He feels he needs to prove himself, and his abilities, and he sets his sights on Spider-Man. He shoots Spider-Man with a tranquilizer dart and ends up burying him alive, basically. And then he dresses up as Spider-Man and does a bunch of off-color things for Spider-Man while he's impersonating him, which, is another issue that gets solved later. Eventually, Spider-Man wakes up. He digs his way out of the grave, which is what you're seeing here. And he ends up having, a battle with Kraven, even though he's not fully recovered from the tranquilizer, where he kind of loses still. And Kraven, feeling that he's bested Spider-Man and that he's finally found happiness, decides that for whatever reason, it's a combination of things. And of course, the story goes way more into this than this short description I'm giving. He basically ends up unaliving himself at that time, I guess, feeling he's accomplished what he wants to accomplish. And that's how the story ends. The story ends actually with Spider-Man, finally beating Vermin, and then promising to get Vermin help from Reed Richards. But anyway, the main part of, the ending of the story is Kraven deciding that he no longer wants to be on this earth. And obviously that is kind of a deep and dark thing to be in a comic book, especially for Marvel. So yeah, this is just a really iconic story and cover. And the creative team behind this, Mike Zeck and J.M. DeMatteis, really killed it with this whole story arc and this whole run in general that they did together. And I just really wanted to highlight this book today because this is a very important part of Spider-Man's history. And I just love having these comic books that are like, historically significant in my collection. I think it's so cool to have and just hold a piece of like really important history. And yeah, for those reasons, I'm just super, super happy to have this awesome Spider-Man book in my collection.